Hey guys, welcome back to this new video. This is the unboxing cabin. Let's get started. Talking about the design, nothing much has changed on the design front, or rather nothing major. Like we mentioned in our first videos, the overall 60 design nearly mirrors that of the OnePlus 6, but with few changes. First, there is no 3.5mm headphone jack this time. It's an obvious move in the right direction for OnePlus and is something that makes it competitive with other flagships. However, if you already have a favorite 3.5mm earphone that you club with every other smartphone or laptop, a 3.5mm to Type-C connector will be an extra accessory to carry around with 60. You could also buy the Type-C bullets that will cost you around 1,490 rupees. Okay, so here's a fact that the OnePlus 60 also marks the end of the physical fingerprint sensor that has been there in the OnePlus 6, the OnePlus 5T and all the earlier phones that the OnePlus has produced. So at the back of the 60 you get a more simplistic design that has the dual rear cameras, the flash and of course the OnePlus. However, the fingerprint sensor now sits under the display. This is a welcome change for many. These features, in addition to the same glass and metal build, do make the smartphone once again competitive in the market. However, that's not all. The display also gets better in this one. The OnePlus 60 now has a slightly larger screen size of 6.4 inches that has been increased from 6.1 inch that came with the OnePlus 6. The full HD Plus resolution stays the same, and we have no complaints given that the resolution is not enough for the given canvas. A larger screen is however immersive and better than what other smartphones in the same price bracket delivers. Although it uses the same AMOLED panel, the screen is not as saturated as that of Samsung. The color tones are largely well balanced and the curved glass on the sides add to the grip. Also, while the screen gets larger, the notch goes smaller. You get the sensors and the front camera inside the notch along with a speaker grill. Like in OnePlus 6, you could also hide the notch in the OnePlus 6T. However, a bigger display does make it a near perfect companion for viewing content and playing games, but it also leads to more scratches at the corners. We can already see minor ones in 2 weeks of usage. Fortunately, you do get a screen guard pre-installed and there's Gorilla Glass 6 protection as well. So all of this shouldn't be an issue. On the software side of things, what makes OnePlus 60 different is the improved brightness levels in addition to customizable screen calibration preference. You can set the tone of the display from the display option inside the settings app. You also get the usual features including a night mode, reading mode and adaptive brightness, which is an Android Pie feature. Unlock the speed is not just for the in-display fingerprint sensor here. It somewhere applies to OnePlus 60's overall performance as well. The fact that the OnePlus 6 was already in the Android 9 Pie beta program, it was safe to assume that OnePlus 60 will come with the Android Pie out of the box. The Oxygen OS is as snappy as it gets, and like we have mentioned before, it is faster and more responsive than Samsung's Experience UI and other devices. If you compare it with OnePlus 6, not much will be there to differentiate, but then you do get some software tweaks when it comes to cameras and in-display fingerprint gestures. Oxygen OS based on Android 9 Pie is refined and is claimed to be better optimized to work in tandem with the hardware to give a good performance, no matter if you are using heavy apps or light ones. As compared to others, it seems more like a lightweight. Add this to the fact that OnePlus is usually the first to roll out latest Android updates, and you've got a decent device. Talking about the cameras, the OnePlus 60 gets the exact same camera specifications as the OnePlus 6. There is a dual rear camera setup comprising a 16-megapixel Sony IMX519 with f1.7 aperture and a 20-megapixel Sony IMX376K sensor with the same aperture. This performed well on the OnePlus 6, but we now have been improved a bit to deliver better night shots, portraits and selfie images. These also feature OIS and EIS for crisp images and videos. also retained is the 4K video recording at 60 fps that most of the smartphones miss. The daylight shots are decent and you won't get anything worth complaining. However, with an improved portrait feature, we did find mixed results. There are not so good looking portraits as the one clicked by Google Pixel smartphones, but are also not on the negative side. Recognizing hair, glass reflections and small gaps or corners still remain an issue. However, the overall performance is acceptable. What's really improved is low light photography. Although the hardware part stays the same on the OnePlus 60, but has definitely improved upon the software side to deliver a well-balanced low light shot. The night mode does take anywhere from 2 to 5 seconds for a shot, but stitches them together to deliver a sharp image that, unlike the regular version, captures more colors and keeps the highlights under control. The front-facing camera has also been worked upon, so the selfies come sharp and saturated. However, the 16-megapixel front-facing camera boasting of Sony IMX371 sensor and f2.0 aperture may give you some unrealistic selfies that show a brighter and smoother skin, all in default settings. But we assume most of the selfie lovers won't mind this. We also tried the portrait feature in selfie mode and we were impressed. It's not flawless, but for the given price tag, it might be the best selfie portrait camera you can get right now. However, that applies when shooting as a single person. We also tried the portrait mode with 2 or more people, and it failed miserably to get focus on everyone. Pixel recognizes multiple faces in a frame in the portrait mode and blurs the background accordingly. We would have loved if there was a pro mode for videos as well. It could have made OnePlus 60 simply the best camera phone in the given price. The video recordings at Full HD and 4K resolution with 60 fps works fairly well. Naturally, recording 4K videos at 60 fps for around 3 minutes won't make the device heated up, which is great given that several others do go warm. Rest of the features stay the same with an opinion for Image Pro mode, panorama, time-lapse and slow motion video recording of up to 480 fps at 720p. The battery was one of the most underrated features of the OnePlus 6 and it stays the same for the OnePlus 6T. The battery capacity in the OnePlus 6T model is 400 mAh more this time. That's one of the biggest battery updates in a OnePlus handset in recent times. Its large 3700 mAh battery works with the efficient Snapdragon 845 processor, ample RAM and Full HD Plus AMOLED display, and that also has low power consumption to deliver a long-lasting performance. On an average, we got around 7 to 8 hours of screen on time, and the handset easily ran for 10 to 12 hours, but that's subjective and depends on your usage patterns. Nonetheless, this is definitely not a bad performance for a smartphone. In addition, you get fast charging tech on board, so plugging it for a few minutes will give you enough juice to make OnePlus 60 run for an hour maybe. Android 9 Pie's adaptive battery feature is also there, so you can get the best out of your smartphone's battery. In case you want the smartphone to run for even more hours, there's always the battery saver option that restricts the background app activity and connectivity. With the given specifications, features, design and the price, the OnePlus 60 is simply a more polished version of the OnePlus 6. While sporting the same design, you get a larger screen, more storage, more battery capacity and an exclusive features like the in-display fingerprint sensor along with a smaller notch. All this at a starting price of Rs 37,999 does make the smartphone a threat for others like Samsung and Nokia. However, those who are on the OnePlus 6 may feel betrayed to some extent. In case you already have the OnePlus 6, you can skip the OnePlus 60. However, if you are coming from the OnePlus 5T, this is surely worth an upgrade. Hey guys, if you all enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to my channel, The Unboxing Cabin. Like this video, share it with your friends and don't forget to comment your valuable feedback. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.